Keepers. That is honestly one reason I still do love the word birth keeper in spite of all the new connotations with it, is just, like, there is that keeping element, like, it is our job to keep, which means to guard, to watch over, to preserve, to maintain something that is precious, and I take that really seriously, like, in my birth philosophy. So yeah, I have not heard it used as a noun in any sense other than that, I don't think, but yeah. But the Lord refers to himself as a keeper a lot in the Psalms too. The psalmist sings about the Lord is the one who keeps you. He's my keeper. So it's kind of fun, just like same with being a helpmeet. We get to share a descriptive adjective and a position title with God himself, keeper and helpmeet. Holy Wild Birth is a podcast embracing the reclamation of giving birth, rooted in God's original design, undisturbed.
Here, we share homebirth stories highlighting God's presence as the great midwife, as well as conversations about all aspects of a holistic, spirit-led childbearing year. From the perspectives of myself, traditional midwife Lauren Hall of Rooted in Eden Private Contract Association,
and me, holistic doula and birthkeeper Brooke Collier of Sister Birth.
To choose a holy wild birth journey is to consecrate all your decisions unto the Lord.
And to reclaim creation unadulterated by centuries of human attempts to control and improve upon what God has already called good.
Please remember, birth is not a medical event, but a natural process. We are not your care providers, and this should not be taken as medical advice.
Hi, friend.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I am well. Drinking my
Good.
yummy mocha organ meats in my twin cup today.
Awesome. Good. I already did that today too. I use the same organ meats powder as you do now, thanks to your recommendation. Well,
Yeah.
I alternate it every other time with the collagen. But anyway,
Sure.
since I already had that today, this is my second hot beverage of the day,
Yeah. And
and
this is
it is
not
a
affiliate call,
that
but it's the ancestral supplements for everybody who's
yeah,
wondering now.
we'll put it in the show notes, but we don't get a commission.
We don't get a commission.
No. I'm drinking one of my friends is missionary with YWAM, like, she actually coaches kids who are finishing YWAM in, like, how to re-enter the world. It's really kind of a cool thing she does, but she gets to travel all over the world. So she recently went to several different countries in Asia and Europe, and she sent me and my family little samplings of tea from every country she went to.
Fun.
So I'm currently trying out the one that she got from Thailand. It's like a Thai tea, and it's really yummy, actually. And I put some steamed raw milk in it and honey,
What
and
does
I'm
it
really
taste
enjoying
like?
that.
Or do you know what's in it? Like what
Well, it's like
profile?
red, first of all, so I don't know what the base is. I'm wondering if it's like a rooibos base, but that's African. I don't know. I
I
don't
have
really know
no
what it
idea
is.
what Thai
It kind of
tea
tastes rooibosy to me.
Okay. I said I just was saying I don't have any idea what the Thai tea, like what that flavor profile would even be.
Yeah, I've had it at like Thai restaurants before, and it does
Oh, yeah.
taste similar to that, but I've never looked up like what it is. So,
Interesting. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
think I've ever had tea at Thai restaurants, but I don't love Thai food generally. My husband does,
What?
and my parents do. I know I get it from
I
them too.
adore
They do as well. So I have been a few times because they drag me with disdain that I'm not enjoying it.
I wouldn't wanna bring you with me. I would be like, "If you're not gonna enjoy it, you can stay home.
Yeah. Love you too, Brooke.
Don't
Love
ruin
you
my
too.
my pleasure."
I don't ruin their pleasure. I'm just like, okay, what do I want to eat here? All right, I'll eat that.
Just not
Like,
your
it's not
fave.
bad company. I just don't love it. It's not like my choice on the
You don't sit and
list of
pout the whole time.
no, not a baby.
Okay, what is your favorite ethnic cuisine? I don't think we've ever talked about this. Like,
Mm,
your favorite non-American food?
non-American, like probably like authentic, either Italian or Mediterranean foods. Like love Greek foods, love Israeli food. So good.
Ooh, I haven't had much opportunity to experience Israeli food.
uh love I loved being in Israel, and we still try and make a few of the dishes that I had out there.
Fun.
So, yeah, probably that, just that general region, honestly.
Mhm. Yeah, that was really good.
But yeah, I also
I feel
just
like we
love
haven't done as much
some
of that in our
pasta.
house, but I was just
Really?
recently thinking that I would like to try to prepare more Mediterranean style food at home because I
Oh,
do really
it's
enjoy
so
it.
good. There was this one dish in Israel called shakshuka, and I'm probably not saying that correctly, but it's this like tomato base with a very specific like spices I actually bought at the market so I could make it at home when I brought it home. So it's long gone now because it was back in 2018, but it's this like tomato skillet sauce and then you put the eggs in it and then it cooks the egg within
Oh,
that.
yes.
It was so good. It's so good.
Yes.
I need to make some more of that. I normally make it in the height of summer when we have lots of tomato harvest, but I did not get a large tomato harvest this year. The birds ate my tomato harvest. The birds in the sun like scalded everything and all the birds ate them. So I didn't get much of a tomato harvest, but that's normally when I
Well,
make it.
imagine when you get a tomato harvest and your first set of, like and you'll have farm fresh eggs from your chickens,
Yes,
and then
I've
you
got
can use your
tons. We're
farm.
getting tons of eggs now. We are getting lots of eggs. So I'm actually impressed
So
with how
fun.
many eggs we've been getting with the amount of birds that we have.
Mm,
So we're getting quite a bit now. I'm very excited about it.
great.
Now that we
That's so
figured
yummy and
out that it
fun.
was raccoons that were attacking them instead of some kind of weird murderous chicken birds. Oh. We had so for our listeners to loop you in, we have about well, we had 12 birds. And then my children, largely, it's been on my children, my older children, my teenagers, and my husband have been the chicken keepers. And I've largely been a little disconnected from it, just not even because of
Mhm.
desire, but just I'm the one working and I'm busy and they've had it.
Yeah.
So, but they were like observing the pecking order. And my younger ones being the ones that kind of play more out there all day long, they were like, no, they're pecking each other. They're killing each other. Like they're just pecking him to death and like it's awful and they're so mean. And the girls that we got it from a different family that had four girls and they were like, yeah, they were mean to each other. And so it just kind of escalated this like bully system that the pecking order was like one of the chickens being a really big bully and we'd had two chickens. Well, I think we've had two or three that have passed because of a
And
raccoon.
one of them you talked about on our last episode, cup of
Did
tea
I?
episode, I think. It
Was
was
it?
the one that was, like, slowly dying.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was slowly dying. And then, so we've had three. We've had two that slowly died, and then one that was definitely a raccoon because it left it took its head. I was like, okay, guys, that a chicken didn't peck the head off, but it seems like it had injured one really deeply and they were like
Mm.
it was they've pecked it to death and we were like I mean but there wasn't large wounds to that one so I mean maybe I don't know if that one really was an over overly cannibalistic chicken happening um because I read around that can
Yeah,
happen if there's not a
that can happen.
rooster and there's too many hens in the hen house. Apparently that is exactly where that phrase came from. So I don't know if the
Heck you
first
did.
one really was the like them trying to become an alpha hen because there's no rooster and there wasn't quite as enough space. It was enough, but it wasn't. But anyway, it's a whole long thing.
Yeah, so you'd been wondering if you'd set up, like, a recipe for aggression kind of,
Right.
accidentally,
And
right?
accidentally,
And so you
because when
fixed
we'd got
that.
them, my husband threw his back out, and so he didn't quite get the two extra little roosting boxes that needed to be there, but they had enough run and they had enough cover, and it was just like, is this what's happening? But
Right.
then we went on our vacation, and someone who has cared for chickens since her childhood was coming and caring for them for us, and she was like, "This is definitely a raccoon. Like it's getting into your food." Brandon was thinking it was the babies that were getting into the chicken stuff. Like there was like one of the younger kids keeps
Oh, I
lifting the lid off. No, it's raccoons. The raccoons are doing this. The
see.
raccoons are getting in, and he found one little hole that it was getting into. And so he fixed
And they
it
can
up.
fit through, like, surprisingly small
Yeah,
spaces.
full lift off the ground that he had not seen because of the
Mhm.
ground not being perfectly level and blah blah blah. So he shirted up, and we have not had any issues. There has been no murderous chickens. They're not getting into anything anymore. Um,
Good.
so,
That's a
anyways,
relief.
our chickens are
I'm glad
safe,
that chicken
and they
sitter
have
could connect
started
the
laying
dots for you
eggs.
guys and
Yeah,
prove that women and men were innocent and not
right.
taking
Not getting into the chicken feed.
and that your chickens aren't like pathological murderers.
Right. I think it was largely Leela that he was blaming. I think Leela and the being the 4-year-old being just like, you're getting in here,
Yeah,
just
that
leave it
makes sense.
alone. So anyway,
Oh,
the
glad that
chickens are
problem's
now
fixed.
safe and laying lots of eggs. So
Yay. That means they're feeling safe.
yes,
It's a good thing.
yes.
Yep.
So you can tell Hazel
Yeah.
it's all good now.
Okay. One of our chicks got picked off by a bird of prey since we last recorded.
Yeah.
So much chicken drama.
Yeah.
It's a dramatic life. We have a whole chicken graveyard and it just keeps getting added to over the years.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
enough about chickens.
enough about chickens.
Yeah. Although I'm grateful for them.
I am too. It's been nice to
Yeah.
have them. And it's lovely to have like a bountiful egg basket on my counter full of
All the pretty
chicklings.
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We've
so
only got
nice.
two right now. We've got largely white and then some like teal, like the teal green color happening.
Fun.
So I'd like to expand to differing colored eggs, but that was what was given to us. So,
Hmm. Yep.
it's like I will take free chickens. That is fine.
Absolutely. Mhm. Yeah.
But anyhow, yeah. So what else is happening in your world?
It's been kind of a quiet month. Yeah, no travels or anything, so it's just felt a little more chill. But we
Yeah.
started up a lot of we unschool and homeschool, whatever. But my kids are in different programs, once a week kind of deal, or a couple of them once a month. So all of those have started up. And so it's just kind of reacclimating to the shuttling people around on different days to different places and packing lunches at night for some of those things. Cause I think there's 3 days a week right now where at least one child is going somewhere.
Ah,
So it's kind of a lot, but I also really like one thing I like about doing stuff like that is when you have a big family, when you lift one or two children out of it, it changes the entire dynamic at
the
home and you
whole
get like a
dynamic
different
changes.
quality of interaction with the kids
Yeah.
that are still home. And so I really enjoy that. I enjoy the mixing it up. And I think it's good for them too to get
Yeah.
space from each other sometimes and have different things they're getting to do outside the house.
Yeah.
So it's felt
Causes
worth
them
it.
to stretch different muscles, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like my favorite day this semester is on Thursdays. 3 of my children go to this. It's called an Agile Learning Center, which is I like to jokingly say that it's group unschooling.
Group
So it's
unschooling.
like they're unschooling, but collectively with others with the supervision and facilitation of adults other than me.
Yeah.
But it's like the model of it is really similar in terms of she
Right.
just has space set up with like raw materials for learning and exploration and creating, and it's really self-directed
Totally
and
wish we
democratic.
had one around here.
Yeah. It's pretty great. So 3 of my kids go there on Thursdays, and then one goes to her beloved nature school, which we also love and have been there for years. And so that leaves me home with just my littlest 2, who are 5 and 2. And so we will sometimes go to the play cafe, which they
Yeah.
love going there. And I can sit and work for 2 to 3 hours and they're still happy.
That's awesome.
And then other times we'll go tour libraries because my 5-year-old wanted to check out all the different libraries in our library system this year.
Yeah.
Tour de library. So it's kind of a fun day.
That's
Yeah.
fun. I bet that's just, it's so rare to be able to really pour into and connect with the little ones in a big family. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes you feel like you're giving them more attention than you give your older ones, but they are
Yeah.
also getting a different type of attention than like your first two, three kids.
Yes.
It's just the nature of the beast. I mean, it just is what it is. But it is so
Yeah, it's like
fun.
the younger ones get pulled into activities that are meant for older kids, and, like,
Right.
I sometimes forget that they still need little kid activity and that
Exactly.
they still are delighted over things that
Right.
my other kids are so over.
But it's hard to do those when you've got the other ones that are like, we are so over that, really. And so it just, you have to make time for these like individual things, and that's not always easy. So
Mhm.
I love that it's kind of just worked into your schedule now. We've been trying. I've always tried to make sure that I have like I always made a one rule that has kind of helped me build this in is like I only take one kid and I don't count babies that I'm wearing. I only take one kid to the grocery store with me.
Mhm.
Or I'm going by myself, period. Like that's just how I've always made it.
Yeah.
I say always, once I started having lots of kids. And so that has become almost like our, oh, I have to run an errand. Okay, who am I taking? And
So it's like a
we
little
always,
date doing a real life.
yeah, a date day.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kind of make it a quick little date day, and we'll always end up doing something extra. Not always, but we try
Mhm.
to, like, I try to work something in of like, oh, let's stop at the coffee shop. Oh, let's run to the playground, and just give them a little bit of a side activity. And Brandon's been doing where he takes them to the library, and our library has differing age appropriate activities each day. So he'll take
Mhm.
some of them and go to their preschool story hour or the
Yeah.
homeschooled elementary age style, like it's the craft time or some STEM activity. So
God
he's been,
bless the public library,
I know, right?
seriously.
It's
I
good.
love
It's so
libraries
fun.
so much.
So, anyways, love
I hope
that.
they never ever go away. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, so
anyhow,
just getting into fall rhythms and having some fires outside, but
yeah.
we around our fire pit. It's, like, perfect weather for that finally.
Yes.
I love sitting around a fire in the fall.
We just did our fire for Rosh Hashanah this
Mm.
past, I guess it was Monday. We got a really cool sale actually, because I was like, okay, we're gonna host Rosh Hashanah at our house, and we've got this big old deck, and there's no tables, and we've ran over to the town over and got an amazing deal on two little. We have this really long, like rectangular deck, and so we got these two square tables and then a fire pit that were all like 50% off and super
Nice.
chicken super words, man, are just scrambled eggs right now. They're just all over the place. I said chicken coop because or I said chicken because we also ended up getting a chicken coop that was for four. That was $100, and I was like, "What? Yes, we need
Yeah,
this."
you got hooked up that day. You got all the
Yeah,
stuff for your yard
we got all the
upgrade, up
stuff.
level in your yard.
And so we just set that up, and it's really beautiful now and functional. We've got the church pews that
Cool.
run completely along each side of the deck, and then these two
Cool, that's
kind of,
fun. You didn't have those when I was there.
did I not?
I
Yeah,
don't
there's
think
these
so.
big long church pews along the house, and then along parallel to that, along the far side of the deck, so they face each other. And then now we have these two metal and glass square tables, kind of small, but because they're so small they kind of fit to where you could walk in between them, which I liked, instead of having one long one where it makes it almost
Yeah.
inaccessible. You have to walk all the way around it. So we set that up with a fire pit in the center, and then we had a bunch of friends come over and just had a worship night around the fire and food, and
Beautiful.
it was just fun. It was
It's
really
so
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
These are the kinds of things that make me wish our families lived closer together so we could do
Oh,
these things together. I'm
yes.
like, "Ugh."
I know. I do have the same
Yeah.
wish. I have the same
Mhm.
wish.
But neither of us are willing to move, so I guess we'll just
Yeah.
have to put up with it.
God's gonna have to tell one of us to move in order for that to happen, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of got us both
Yep.
planted, so we'll have to just keep on just being friends from a distance.
Mhm. Yes.
It is really such a treasure friendship, and I am so thankful. I have so many distance friends. One of my absolute best friends is in Arizona, but I've only gotten to see her, what, twice in the time that we've been friends. No, three
Mm.
times. I've gotten three times with her in person, and several years longer of a friendship. And
Uh, okay.
And I think about the blessing that God's given us to be able to see each other so often. We've gotten several
Yeah.
meetings.
Yeah, considering how relatively new our friendship is, we've managed to get
Yeah,
ourselves and our families together a fair amount,
a fair amount.
especially considering we live so far away from each other.
Right. It's just kind of, it's such a blessing. I just am very thankful that the
Mhm.
Lord has orchestrated that, and I think there's also been just the intentionality of it. Like, okay, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
But and the
Well, and right
fact that
after
we
we're
feel
done
like
recording.
it's a work thing, so we can make it happen.
Yeah.
helps
I
helps
know, we can, write it off, well, I write it off on my business expenses when
yeah.
I go down there.
Like, I can justify this because it's also business. Yeah.
And after this recording, we're going to go look at a Ford Transit 12
Ooh,
passenger,
fun.
and we've been low key looking for quite a while, and I just waffle so much. I'm like, do we really wanna spend money on a bigger vehicle?
You
Like,
do.
we don't really
You
drive around that much, but
absolutely
every time we
do.
wanna go on a longer trip, it's,
We
like,
don't.
horrific
Yeah.
to go on longer trips in
Yeah.
our minivan, the fighting and the noise
Yeah.
but I also am unwilling to spend, like, 20 grand on a
Right.
vehicle. So, anyway, this one we're looking at today is, like, more in our price range, but doesn't have any seats,
So many
so
seats.
we'd have to go buy some seats. Anyway, the
Is
reason I'm
it
bringing this up is because I feel like I will feel more able to take longer road trips if I do have a van like this.
to do road trips having the bigger vehicle? We're actually in the space of like we're trying to downsize the bus to like a transit because the bus is so much bigger than even just like your normal church van transit
Yes.
situations because it's like a short city bus for those who don't know what I drive. We have a small, technically it can fit 7, but largely it really fits 5 plus a trunk, but you can get 2 little seats in the very back if you lose your trunk space essentially. And so we drive that for around if there's not the whole family going together, but our big vehicle is this massive short city bus, and it's what we got to pull our RV when we were traveling around because it had enough power to do that, to pull our huge RV. And I loved having like the big center aisle and the doors opening up, and the back end, there's about 5 feet of just empty space that was very much great for our storage. Essentially, it was like our what we called our garage back then when we lived on the road. It was like, this is the garage. And so now it's really great. When we took our trip, we just did a trip around, went up way up north in Arkansas to the Buffalo River, and then went over to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and just kind of did this big round road trip around
So fun.
the top part of Arkansas over to Oklahoma and then back through, coming back a different way. And it was just a fun trip, but it was really nice. And we were gone for a week, and so we filled that whole back space with lots of luggage
Sure.
and camping gear and all the things. And so I love it, and I love having that space. But also when you just want to like run somewhere and you have the whole like
Mhm.
it's just such a big thing. And if I'm going to someone's gathering, a birthday party or whatever, and you're like, "What's your driveway
Rolling up in your
situation
city bus.
like? Like, can I like when you say we're having to park on the road, like how wide are your roads or do I need to like shuttle people over? What's happening?"
Yeah, that's a lot of things to consider.
It's a lot. So like, you can't always we can't fit in parking garages. You can't just, we always have to figure out where's the parking for us because we're 20 foot long and 9 feet tall and I think it's like 9'6". So it's just,
Yeah, I could see how that'd be really limiting for, like,
yeah,
local situations
local
or just
situations.
being
Yeah.
around town.
So we want to downgrade to the transit, which is funny. You're trying to
Yeah.
get larger to the transit, and I'm trying to get smaller to the same vehicle.
Well, you're probably gonna get would you get a 15 passenger transit?
Yeah, we would
We're
probably
doing a
want a
12,
15.
I think. That's
Yeah.
kinda my goal. 15 feels too big to me, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a 12.
You have
I
2
would
more
want a
children than I do.
15 because we would we want this extra space of luggage and
Or
cost of
picking up a
living.
friend or 2, that's one
Yeah.
reason I think about it's almost like having car hospitality.
Right,
Like, I
exactly.
can't be hospitable with my vehicle right now. I can't offer
Yeah.
someone a ride. I can't pick
Right.
up a friend for like, this
Yeah,
would
like
allow
if you
me
wanted
to
to
make
do
room for a grandma to ride
sleepovers
along
or
or
whatever, and yeah, you want to be able to have the space to, okay, yeah, sure, 2 kids can come home from church with us.
in fact, we
So,
have there's these 2 girls at our church who are always asking if they can ride home with us in our trunk, and so I've been like,
fun.
"Hopefully soon we'll have seats for you and you can
Yeah.
come home with us."
Right. It's nice to be able to have the room. We actually, when our church does bigger events, they'll be like, "Hey, can we borrow your bus? Brandon, can you drive?" So we shuttle a lot for our church too because of
That's cool.
the amount of space that we have in it. But it's definitely
Yeah, absolutely.
still only the one we have is still only a 12-seater. So,
The
or
buses?
yeah, it's 12 passenger, 13
Okay,
with a
yeah.
driver because
It's
of,
just like you can stand fully upright in it. It's
yep,
like a legit bus,
it's
so it
massive.
feels huge, but I didn't
It's
know it only sat
massive.
12.
It's 13 technically. It's 12
Mm,
passenger, 13 driver.
right.
And it's because it's so big because of the handicap spaces. Like in the back, it was set up to have a handicap ramp, like the one that opens the
Oh,
door.
okay.
And then it could fit, I think, 3 wheelchairs in the back. Like, there's places in
Wow.
the floor to,
Yeah.
like, buckle in a wheelchair.
So there's a lot of empty space in there,
So there's a
basically.
lot of
That's not being
empty
used for
space,
seats.
right. So
Yeah.
if it was just seats back, all the way to the back, it would probably be like a 20 seater, but it doesn't have the seats for that. It has seats for 12 and then places for 3 to 4 wheelchairs in the back.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's the
Gotcha.
back garage. It's like 5 feet worth of empty space. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like just recognizing you're in a different season now. You're no longer in
yeah,
your touring the country
right.
pulling an RV season, and this new
Yeah,
season may require a different
a
vehicle to
different
match your
vehicle.
needs right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like that's just how it goes in life. New
Yep.
season needs new tools.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm in the season of also having to figure out how many more vehicles we need, given that we have a
Teenagers.
driving teenager and another one that's about to get his permit. And I'm going to blink twice, and the other one will be driving. And I'm like, how many
Yeah.
vehicles are we going to have to have? We need a bigger driveway.
Yeah, it's like thinking through your vehicle fleet. Like,
Huh?
what do I
Right.
need in my fleet of vehicles?
And then the vehicles that we
It's
need.
so weird.
Yeah. Yep. That season is coming for you, Brooke.
It is. Hazel's begging to start driver's ed, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I wouldn't probably
But
want to trade in your vehicle. Keep your van because you're going to need it.
yeah, well, I would like to get rid of the van, and I'd like to get a smaller, like, sedan, like that has
Sure.
2 front seats and 3 in the back, like a
A
little car for just,
little
like,
car.
short trips across town when just me or just Tim has to go
Yeah.
somewhere, or, like, when my
I have
teenager's
loved having
driving.
that.
That's my dream.
I've loved having that. Um,
I'd like to get, like, a little Prius or something maybe with a really good
yeah.
gas mileage.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I wanna change the subject because I really wanna make sure that we get into the we Lauren and I were on we were talking about something entirely different the other day, and suddenly we heard ourselves say the phrase "birth team," and we were like, "Team?
What?
Why are we saying team?" And I just feel like we have to talk about
We
this
do. We
because we're like,
do.
"Let's not talk about it right now. Let's save it for the cup of tea
And
episode."
we've saved it for like what, 4 days now, and we were like, we
Yeah,
have to have this conversation because we
we
wanted
wanna
it to
hash
be
it out
authentic.
live for you guys.
Yes. Okay. So we were talking, and it was like, okay, let's just like, what are some words? We were trying to come up with a word for one of our joint ventures of Hearth Mother Journey and blah blah blah. Anyway, so we're talking. I was like, okay, well, what's a birthy word? When we think about a group of people in birth, it's well, okay, so you have your birth team, and I said it, and I was like, ew,
Yeah.
why are we
Like,
saying
somehow it's like our eyes were
team?
unveiled, and we suddenly recognized that team is like a jock word, it's like a sport word.
Right.
Why do
Why do we have a birth team? I don't want a
it makes
birth
it sound like
team.
you're going through drills and practices and,
Right?
like, you have
Like,
a
and
coach who's like
honestly, birth coach. We use
yeah,
that
that's
too.
sporty too.
As soon as
Gosh,
the more you said it, I was like, and coach. And then you're like, a birth coach. And I'm like, yeah, we use
yeah, we
coach
do call people
and
birth
team.
coaches too. So
Where
why are we
where is
adopting this kind of, like,
this language?
athletic language?
Which I guess you do for to be fair, we do use coach in a differing sense. Like a life coach is a
Like
very
life
different
coach,
life coach does
which
feel
I've
very
never really loved
different.
that either though,
It's
honestly.
true, but it
That's never
does
been a
feel
phrase I
different.
loved. Yeah.
It has a slightly different connotation than if you just say coach by themselves. When I hear like I
Yeah.
feel like it's the same word, but it does take on a differing air to me
Mhm.
when I hear life coach. But it's definitely more of like a spiritual director. Like a life coach is feels more like a spiritual director, which even I don't
But
know.
even the word director.
Even the
I'm
word
thinking about that
director.
now too.
Why do we not what
Are
is
you
wrong with
directing my
us?
life? Are you directing my spiritual
No, we do
development?
not
No,
get to
that's
do
not what
that.
you're doing.
What
Like, you're
is
listening to God with me
right?
over my life, like,
It's
but
like a
that's not
companion.
directing.
It's a companion.
Yeah, I think I actually and sometimes I read a little bit up on, like, the history of spiritual direction in the church and stuff, and, like, companion is a word that gets used in certain other
Is it?
contexts, and I do
Well,
like
that
that a bit
feels
better.
more appropriate. And
Yeah.
a birth companion. I like that.
Well, and that's what Billie Harrigan,
You're
a
right. She does use that.
Canadian midwife who, like, can't call herself a midwife, she has adopted the term traditional birth companion, and I actually
Yeah,
really do love that.
I do love that. I
Um,
had forgotten about
it
that.
is really companioning, and companion is such a word of, like, equality. There's not, like, a one-upmanship to that at all. It's
Right.
just like, I'm with you on the same plane and we're walking together and I'm just bearing witness and being here. So I
Yeah,
do love that word. But I don't know if that solves the problem of what to call a birth team because it's like a
it
group of
doesn't.
people. My birth companions, my I don't know, like
Yes.
and then I was saying I thought about the elephants. Could we
Right, the
borrow a word
circle
from the
thing.
elephants? Because how elephants do that thing where they circle around one of their own when she's about to give birth and they just kind of like hold space, like literally create like a
Right.
fence with their bodies to kind of make sure there's protection for that mother to finish her work of birthing her baby and make sure the baby, when it's so vulnerable and has just been born, can't be attacked by a predator. And so I was trying to look up what that's called. And you Googled it that day, and then I Googled it again and found a couple places where it was referred to as a circling strength. Like that's what
Circling
it's called.
strength. Yeah,
Circling strength. And I was like,
I like
that's
that.
kind of cool, but I don't know. It's
Yeah,
kind of clunky.
yeah.
I don't know what we could find that would like catch on because I feel like I sort of want us to like come up with something that could catch on and change the
Right?
language
I
in
also
the
think about,
birth
like, a
community.
confidant is another good word.
Not
Yeah,
somebody you like confide in.
yeah,
But again, there's not a group element to that.
right?
I don't know.
Why don't we have good words for this? I'm just gonna have
I
to
don't
make
know.
one
Maybe
up.
like we need
Oh,
to make one up or
like
something.
hearth circle. Your hearth confidants. I don't know.
Yeah, or
We
I
need
thought of
some.
care circle, but then, like, in hospital settings, I'll often call, like, whoever's taking care of you your care provider.
Your care team.
It's almost
Why is
sadly
this team word?
well, care circle. So, but in
Yeah,
hospitals, they call your doctor your care provider, and
right.
I don't really like the medical connotation there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna solve this
I
problem
don't
over
think
the course of this podcast, but perhaps if our listeners are hearing this and have brilliant ideas, they can submit
yes.
them in the comments
I
or
feel
email
like
us
we're gonna
because
have to like go look through 17th century and 16th century words.
there you go. That's a
Some
fun idea.
old English
Yeah.
words that'll
Revive a
just
Shakespearean term or
revive
something.
something. Yeah, because it's just this is a problem. This is a problem that needs a solution. Like,
Ooh, but also, here's a question. What is the, like, etiology that's the word, right, for the history of a word, of the word team? Like, did it originate in, like, sports and athletic context, or did it
true.
originate from some other root that goes further back than athletics? Because maybe
Let's
that would
see.
redeem the word for me if I knew that.
Interestingly, I just Googled it to see.
You Googled etiology of the word team?
Did. It
Okay.
originates from the Old English word, which team, which referred to offspring, brood, and a set of draft animals. This word came from tamaza, from the Germanic meaning. So I don't speak German, so I don't know how to pronounce that, but I know it's not pronounced that way. That which draws or pulls. That's interesting. To pull or lead, initially team specifically denoted animals harnessed together. Don't love that. But I guess yoking is not doesn't always have a
Mm,
bad viewpoint. Um,
sure. If the
let's
mother is in the
see.
yoke also and not being pulled by the team.
Right.
Getting really like because I don't like the image of, like, a woman being pulled through her
Being
labor, but
pole led.
I could
Yeah, for
maybe get
sure.
behind, like, she's in the yoke with the other horses, and
Yeah,
together they're, like, sharing the load, yoking up to do the
right.
work together.
But that's exactly
Maybe?
where it's coming from. So I looked up another uh etymy online. It's ETYM online. And it says a family, tribe, or native stock is where team comes from. A family, tribe, or native stock. So, okay, from Old English team, it's a descendant, family, race line, childbearing, and brood. Also, a company band, bridal line of descent, probably and literally that which draws. Again, from this German word for bridal, and it's from
Interesting.
the root to lead. It was applied in Old English to groups working together for some purpose, such as a set of draft animals yoked together, a group of people acting together to bring suit, associated in some joint action,
Okay,
and it
okay.
actually didn't get attributed to sports until the 1800s. Whereas before, the modern general sense of a person's associated in some joint action is from the 1500s, so 1520s. And it didn't actually get attested to sports until 1840, 1879, and 1886 is when we got like team player, team spirit came in 1879.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
That is interesting. Actually, it does help me a little bit to
It
know
does.
That it goes back further and has different connotations the further back in history you look at the history of that word.
Yeah. So double teaming was a word they used for horses when they were plowing or pulling together.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. That helps a little.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So maybe
Maybe we can keep
wisdom can
it.
stay.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe it
I
can
don't
stay.
know.
Yeah.
But words evolve
Hmm.
and have different connotations than they did in the past too. And it now very much is a
Yeah.
sports word. So
You're right.
I don't know. What do you think, ladies? We drop questions about the podcast in our Mighty Networks group. So I want to hear from you. What do you think about the words birth team and birth coach? And have you ever thought of this? Does this bother you? Does it bother you now? Did it bother you before? Do we now have a thorn
Did
in
we
your
just
side
ruin the
because
words for you?
we
Just
were,
ruined
yeah,
it.
did we just ruin it for you? I think it's kind of ruined for me, even though I read that and it makes me feel a little bit better. I still am kind of ruined for birth team. So, but nothing else
Yeah.
fits. Birth circle, I mean,
Birth
birth
companion.
circle, birth companion. I can get with companions, but it just feels, I don't know. It's not a groupie word. You need a groupie word.
Right.
But everything else feels weird.
Yeah.
Like birth pack now, birth tribe. That feels larger than
Birth
what
circle.
birth circle, but that's already used for a gathering of women prior to birth to
Yeah.
talk
Like
about
sister
birth.
circles.
That's like sister circles, birth circles, and like tribe and village all
Yeah.
feel large, too large. It's like your inner circle.
Yep. Yep. I absolutely agree.
I don't know.
Pod, like dolphin pod,
A
but I
dolphin
don't know, I don't love
pod.
that either.
It's just something, it's eluding me, the proper word to use for here,
Mhm.
and it feels like we're stuck with birth team, and I'm not sure I love that.
Yep. Maybe the Lord will give one of us, like, a dream or, like, a
Yes, Lord.
Holy Spirit download aha moment about this.
Right? I mean, that's how we got Hearth Mother. That is how we got Hearth Mother. I wonder if there's a
Yeah.
word that's what kind of, makes me think about who sits around the hearth together? Like, what is that?
Mhm.
And then is there like an old word for sitting around the hearth together that we don't use anymore that we need to
Ooh,
resurrect? I don't know.
that's an interesting thought.
I feel like this is a
Yeah, like a
Caitlin
really old
question.
English word.
Caitlin, I don't know if you listen to the
And you
podcast.
and I are both kind of word nerds, so
Yeah,
this is,
for sure.
like I think so much about words and in birth culture in general, like, the way we use words. Like, even, I don't know that we wanna get into this right now. But even the word midwife, right? And how it,
Yeah,
like, used to mean one thing and now it means
and
something
now
really the
it means
associations
something
and
different. Yeah,
implications of that word are so entirely different than what they used to be,
yeah.
that it's, like, unrecognizable. So now the people who are, like, midwives in the old way choose different words to describe what
Choose
they
different
are
words.
because they're not what it currently means. They're something
Right.
different, right? So
Yep.
and then others are like, "I'm not gonna give up that word. I'm gonna keep using that word."
Yep.
Or even the
Yep.
word birth keeper in recent times, like, has changed meaning and, like, kind of
Meaning.
ownership, like
And I think that
so
is the way
it's
of
so
words.
it's
Like they do evolve and change and connotation shifts and culture and history layer things onto it. Um and both traumas happen through words and that words are powerful. I mean, there's life and death of the tongue. The scripture
powerful.
tells us that the word is power, like our words are powerful. And so I do think it matters. um, it's not just semantics. I don't even like, oh, that's just semantics. Do you know how powerful words are? like
Yeah.
so
Like, we really need to define our terms when we're
yeah,
especially if we're starting to feel offended by something someone has said. It's, like, a
sure.
helpful practice, I think, to have this, like, instead of getting offended, I'm first gonna get curious. "Can you
Yeah,
tell me what you mean when you use
when you
that
say
word? Like, what
it.
does that mean to
Yeah,
you?"
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's important. And I don't know, like with midwife, I'm like, it means with woman. And people will start to try and divorce like doula from midwife. Like, I'll get that question a lot. Well, do we need a doula or do you do like doula things? And I'm like, I am with woman. And so if she needs a hip squeeze, I'm going to be there. I'm not coming to catch your
Yes.
baby. Please call me before you're pushing. If you want me there,
Yes.
obviously. If you don't want me there, that's fine too. Don't call me until you're pushing. Yeah, like, I don't know, whatever. But there's so many midwives that'll be like, I don't doula. Don't call me until you need me. And like their need me is like because the baby
Like,
is
your
mixed in
baby's
your
about to come
body.
out.
That's
Yeah.
not my role is
I
to
was gonna
be
say
with
there's a good
you.
reason people are asking. Yeah, they're asking that question because the tide they're turning in like
The
the
tides are
way midwives
turning.
are being trained these days. There is a divorce
Yeah.
between what we now call doula care and what we now call
Yeah.
midwife
And
care,
I'm
when
like,
in the
it's
past they
not,
would have been one and the same, like
it's one
completely
and the same.
integrated.
In my opinion, in my
Yep.
view, and in how I practice, it's one and the same. I'm like, if you are in early labor and you feel like you need a woman to be near you, to hold your hand, to wipe your brow, to look at you and say, yep, this is normal, then you call me. That's fine. If it's early active labor and that's where you're at, then you can call me. If you would call your quote unquote doula, you
Yes.
can call your quote unquote midwife.
It's yeah,
I don't love that that's happening in the trainings, this
I don't either.
divorcing of, and that's why doulas had to rise up because midwives stopped being with women. They started being with
Mhm.
baby catching. I don't know. Like,
I think it's
it's like,
also Billy Harrigan who says that what a doula is what a midwife used to be.
I think that's
Like,
Gloria LeMay.
blurred the oh, is that Gloria Lemay? You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
She was
It's
like
just gotten
they rose
so
up because
people,
of
like, staying in their own lanes, their
uh-huh.
scope of practice,
Ugh,
and, like, all the narrow, like, "Well,
don't make
that's
me
I don't do
angry.
that because this is my title."
I'm
Like,
gonna get
it's
mad.
pretty ridiculous.
Hoy.
Yeah, I always tell the women I serve, like, whenever it starts to feel good to you to have female companionship,
Right.
that's when I should come.
That's when I should come. That's exactly what I tell them as well.
So,
That's when
yeah.
I when you want like when should you call me? When you want me there. Like when you're ready. When you
Yeah.
feel the urge to call me, you don't have to fight that. You don't have to decide whether it's too early or too late or just you did you want to call me? Then you call me. And then on the phone
Yeah.
call, we can decide do you want me there or did you just want to hear my voice? Because sometimes they're just
Yes.
like
Did we just need to chat through
is
something
this
quick? Yeah.
normal? I think this is happening. I wanted you to be aware. Okay, are you ready for me to be in your space? No.
No.
Okay. Do you want me to get closer to you so that when you are ready, I can just zip right in? That sounds lovely. Okay, great. I'm going to go set up near such and such. It's, I think, 5 minutes from your house. Okay, thank you. That happens all the time. And so that's what I like. Call me when you want to. That's when you call me. We don't have to
Yeah.
make this hard.
And that I mean, I'll still have a conversation with them about, like, just being mindful of sometimes bringing people to like, really early
Sure.
on can be detrimental, and, like, it's really good to stay unobserved and in your
Yes.
normal life flow for as
Absolutely.
long as you can, but, like,
Absolutely.
you'll reach this point when you just feel like, "I'm done with this. I'm done with being alone, and I want somebody here, and I don't care how many centimeters dilated you are.
Yeah. I don't care about your
I just
5-1
care
month
that it's
pattern. I don't care
no.
about
No,
like
I don't need your timer.
I don't want you timing yourself. I don't want clocks in your birth
No, put it
space.
away, put it
Like
away." Yeah.
I just
I
want
got to a birth the other day, and I was just the photographer for this birth, but when I arrived, the mom was, like, cooking with fire, like, she was, she was deep in labor, and I
huh?
went in, and she had her, like, contraction timer still laying right by her face on her phone, and I was like, "Girlfriend, get this out of here." I actually just picked it up and put it across the room.
Good.
She didn't complain, but I
Yeah.
thought,
Cuz
you are so past needing that."
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
let's get out of your head here.
don't love the contraction timers. Like everything we're
Mm,
having to measure. And honestly, that's where it all comes from, right? Like we have to measure this so that you can decide when it's the appropriate time to call the person who's supposed to
right.
watch your baby come out of you. Like, ew.
Mhm. And it can get really distracting for moms
It's
too
so
to, like, have to
distracting.
think through that and figure that out and make the
Yeah.
call, and
That's why I
yeah.
just want them to be like,
I feel like
when you
Lauren,
want
you know
to,
what we're doing right now?
what?
Right
Complaining?
now we are, like no, we're meandering from our cup of tea episode into a, like, birth topical conversation episode
Yeah,
naturally. I
it
just caught
happens.
us red-handed. I mean, it's
I
fine,
mean,
but
it's
yeah.
good
It is
conversation.
stuff we care about,
This
so we're
is
gonna talk about it,
this
I
is
guess.
what we would talk about if we weren't being recorded.
Story. That is a true story.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is
Yeah,
this is
we do
just
I
our raw
feel fiery
thoughts
about
here,
that.
ladies.
Mhm. Yeah,
Well,
yep.
anyhow, before I can put our my as I like to say, my hand carved soapbox away now. He'll put yeah, yeah. Just I don't know where I was headed. I think I was just on a possibly runaway train of rant, so it can be put away. Call your make a quote unquote birth team when we come up with a better word for that Create a birth team that's just you want to have around you, that you're not going to feel observed by, that you're not going to feel pressured by, that you're not going to that you're going to desire when you're in the depths, that you're going to be like, okay, I want to be able to look up and see that she is gently nodding to me that this is normal. That's create that team,
Yes.
that
Hey, this is
companion.
kind of a cool little testimonial. I haven't even told you this, Lauren.
Yeah.
We have one of our episodes is called The Aligned Birth Team, I think,
Uh-huh.
or something along those lines. A gal I know in my area, she said, I listened to that and it made me see that the doula I'd chosen was not the right one for me. And I want you instead. But anyway, I just thought it was neat that that episode actually helped her get clear
Clear on
about
that.
what she didn't need in her space. And it was like nothing against the doula. She just kind of like intuitively was like, that's not quite the right
Where
like
you're at. Yeah.
energy or fit. And
Yeah.
so she's made the brave choice to like cancel that contract and
Yeah. Which is hard.
make a change. It is
It's such a
hard.
hard decision, and because there's a real person on the other side of that, and they matter.
Exactly.
But man, I think that's why I really love the my screening process, for lack of better words, just to really make sure that we fit. And I'm like, I'm not trying to get hired here. I want you to have the people in your birth space that are supposed to be there, and that is of the utmost importance. So like don't hire me because you love me or that you felt good at
Right.
this appointment. Like hire me because you feel led to. Like let's move
Mhm.
forward because you've spent a week in prayer and like really this is where this fits the boxes that I was looking for, and this is where, if they're believers, this is where the Lord is guiding me to, because I don't want to be in someone's birth space. I feel like, as I'm rabbit trailing here, but birth space, I feel like maybe our birth team replacement is gonna like the birth space occupants. Like occupants not a good word, but like who fills a birth space? Like I think that's getting me closer to what's gonna replace this word. I feel something brewing. The occupants of the birth space. What is that? Who is that? Who fills a birth space?
Huh. Guardians,
Yeah, your guardians.
keepers.
You
That
keep
is that is honestly one reason I still do love the word birth keeper in
birth
spite of all
keepers.
the new
Yeah,
connotations with it, is just like there is that keeping element. Like
yeah,
it is our job to keep, which means to guard, to watch over, to preserve, to maintain something
yeah,
that is precious. And I take that
yeah.
really seriously, like in my birth philosophy.
Which reminds me of
Oh,
the office of officers of trust that comes up in the scriptures when you look up like the gatekeepers, the
mhm.
in the scripture of who kept the gates of the temple. They were placed in an office of
Yeah.
trust. What's a birth trust? Is that a word? Is that a thing?
Like as a noun, like, well, there's
Yeah,
like financial trust.
right.
I have not heard it used as a noun in any sense other than that, I don't think, but yeah. But the Lord refers to himself as a keeper a lot in the
Yeah,
Psalms
he
too. The
does.
psalmist sings about the Lord is the one who keeps you. He's my keeper. So it's kind of fun, just like same with being a helpmeet. We get to share a descriptive adjective and a position title with God himself, keeper and helpmeet. But yeah, look up the trust thing. That could be it. We'll see.
As a noun, trust can mean the belief in the honesty or reliability of another, such as one partnership is based on trust, a legal arrangement where a trustee manages property for a beneficiary, a person or thing trusted, someone placed in one's or something placed in one's care.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm getting closer.
I love how people are, like, actually getting to hear us,
Hear our
like,
brains
process
work.
this in
Yeah.
very, like, unpremeditated form.
Very, very much so. Because you're entrusting so much, right? Like, and entrust is a word,
Yep. It's a verb,
which
though.
is
I think you're talking about it
right,
as, like, as a noun. Could it be used as a
right.
noun? Like, my
Yeah,
birth trust?
right. I feel like I'm gonna make it a noun.
That might work.
Yeah,
Again, there are financial trusts, and I don't know what that
right.
means, but
Yeah, like I'm looking at synonyms of trust as a noun: assured, a dependence on something future or contingent, hope, reliance on future payment for property delivered, credit. The first, it says trust, noun. The first definition is assured reliance on the character, ability, strength, or truth of someone or something, one in which confidence is placed.
hmm,
I mean, it's a noun. one in
Well,
which
except it's usually
confidence
used as I'm giving this person my trust. Like the trust
right,
is a
the
thing, not a
trust is
person. But
but one in
yeah,
which
a trust is
confidence is
also,
placed means I mean, that
yeah,
one in which confidence is placed.
okay,
So, like, it also relates to care and custody, responsible charge or office, a birth trust. I think it's a
might
birth
be
trust.
pretty close.
Except a birth trust is
Or a
also
trust
known as
is
a
a
baby bond, a government-funded savings account.
that's a thing?
That's a thing, a
There
birth
are
trust.
birth trusts?
There is a
Oh, I
birth
didn't know
trust.
that. Interesting.
It's a wealth building tool, but my brain goes, it is a wealth building tool. It is a legacy creating when you really invest
Yeah,
well into your birth. You're birthing forth legacy.
absolutely.
I don't know.
And
Oh,
here
okay.
legally, trust is an entity with separate and distinct rights.
Mhm.
So that's interesting. They can be established to provide protection for assets to ensure they're distributed according to their wishes. So that's kind of the more
Interestingly,
legal end of
there
it.
is a birthtrust.com.
Oh,
It's a childbirth education. And she has here, welcome to the birth trust. We're breaking the mold and ditching the old school approach. Awesome.
oh,
I like you.
okay, nice. This might be a good spirit here.
You're right.
We'll have to
You won't
check her out
hesitate on
more.
the one size fits all approach.
Interesting.
I don't know anything about her,
Okay,
but I like her words.
totally. I would agree. All right.
All
uh,
right. Well, that's where we're
as long as we're
leaving
ranting
here.
about birth things, I
Yeah.
just want to bring up one resource that if anyone listening is
Yeah.
interested in kind of like the ancient roots of and meaning of midwife and midwifery, I'm reading that book. I already told you this, Lauren, but it's called For Those Who Walk Between Worlds
Yes. I just
by
saw
the
that
author is
today.
just Midwife Alyssa. And it's like a self-published dealio that you can get on Amazon, but it is like part poetry, part prose. And it's like the subtitle, I can't remember exactly because I don't have it in front of me, is something like healing our profession. And she talks about like the need to heal the divisions and dysregulated collective nervous system of the midwife profession on the whole. Anyway, it's such a lovely read. Short, beautiful, also kind of like reminds me of some of the conversations we've been having about words and how they matter and what they mean and their history and roots and all of that. So I'll put that in the show notes too. I just couldn't not mention it because it's been such a little highlight for me this month.
Yes. I just got it in and I'm very much looking forward to diving into it. Part of the
Cool.
book.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to you about it more as you're reading
Yeah.
it. I think a few other women in the Believing Birth Keeper circle were getting it too. So we'll have to have like a book club or
It's so
something.
good. We should do a book
Yeah.
club. That sounds fun. Maybe
That would
we
be
make
really
that
fun.
the
I would love to host a book discussion
BBKC.
about it.
Maybe we make that the next topic for the BBKC conversation.
Yes. Or maybe November to give people time so they can all
Give
get
people
it and
time to
read
read
it.
it, get
But yeah,
invested
I
in
would love
it.
to do that.
Yeah, I mean, but it's only 112 pages. So it's a very short little,
Yeah, it's short, but it's really delicious. Like it's like
yeah.
I find myself kind of savoring it. I first started kind of binging it, like just reading a bunch, and I'm just reading a few chapters each day, and I'm like
Right?
soaking it
It's
in.
like
And then
each
the whole
chapter is
back of
just
the
like
book,
2 pages kind of thing. It's
yeah,
such a
yeah,
beautiful
it's more like a little meditation, almost like a
right.
devotional, except it's not a Christian book, but
Right.
it's also not
Poems
like an
mostly.
enemy of Christian values, so I
Yeah.
feel fine about it. And the whole back of it is actually journaling exercises to kind of help you go deeper
I
and
did
really
not know
like
that.
integrate and think through things. So it reminds me a little bit of the reflective workbook pages
Oh, I love
that we
that.
have in Hearth Mother Journey. I
Yeah.
haven't started actually doing them yet, but I love that it's there.
It sounds like this needs
Yeah,
to be added to our book list for HJ.
100%. Yes, it does. Needs to join the Hearth Mother Library for sure.
All right.
Yep.
Well, add that in there.
Speaking of, we didn't premeditate this. Can I make a plug for the Birth Servant Starter Kit for anyone who might be interested in
I
that?
mean, it's your
So after
podcast. You
we,
can do what you want, right?
oh, you're right. So, as you all might know, we just recently closed up enrollment for the fall cohort of Hearth Mother Journey, which is like a year-long intensive like investment kind of experience that is like the best thing we offer together, I think. But we decided to offer a smaller offering on the back end of that that's available now called the Birth Servant Starter Kit. And we were hoping it would kind of fill the gap for women who are maybe interested in HJ and or really, really know they want to do it, but they can't quite yet. It's just a way to like really start to dip your feet in the water and start to engage the content. And so it contains video lessons pulled from Hearth Mother Journey and a really large PDF full of amazing resources. We're talking like checklists and reflective workbook pages and guides and reference sheets and lists of books and lists of podcasts and even some like editable, like I think we would call those swipe files, things that you can use for your own birth practice. So it's a treasure trove. And you get all, if you later do a Hearth Mother Journey, you get all your money back, like because you
Yep.
apply the price of this to your
Deposit.
Hearth Mother Journey enrollment.
Yep.
Totally worth checking out if you're like a newish birth servant or one who's just wanting to like increase your understanding of faith as it applies to your birth practice. We'd encourage you to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's like, I think we added it up. It's about like 10% of the Hearth Mother Journey. So it's just like the first, but it's a little bit of the whole journey. So it's like through the whole thing, we just kind of condensed it down. Like, if you boiled Hearth Mother Journey down, this is where you could go. And so you could totally just go from that and like, this is what I need. This is where I want to go. But it also
Yeah, it's good as a
just,
standalone for sure.
it's great as that, but it also is just okay, I just want to get started and this is where I can start. So I'm going to start and then be able to move into the full course and not be like I wasted money, because you can just deposit that money into your as your first payment into HJ. So, and those who purchase it, we're going to let them open the doors to them first. So they get a week's head start
Yeah.
for any launch. They would get, if you were a holder of the birth servant starter kit, then you would get early keys to the door.
Yep. But again, I do also want to reiterate that even if you don't think you'll ever do Hearth Mother Journey, I think it's still worth every single cent and
Yeah.
stands on its own really well. So
Yeah, for sure.
we're pretty proud of it. Like I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
great little offering.
It's a nice little
Or
offering.
not little, it's pretty substantial,
Yeah, it's a
honestly.
nice mid-sized offering.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's
It's
not like
little
just your little
compared to
tiny,
Hearth
like,
Mother
free PDF
Journey.
download.
Yeah. It's still
It's
gonna take you
it's
about a month or
hefty.
two to get through it, I would say. It's probably about 2 months worth of content, maybe. Like if it was like a 2-month
Yeah,
course,
it
maybe.
depends, how you pace it, I guess, but
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it could easily fill 2 months of, nap times and after kids are in
Right.
bedtimes to work through it
Yep.
all.
Yep. Especially when you consider the scripture reading plan and the work that would be,
Yeah.
and then the filling in of the actual reflection times and
Mhm.
working through the content in the workbook. So
And
yeah.
watching all the videos. Yeah, it'll keep you busy.
Yeah. So
Cool.
anyhow,
Well,
all
thanks for
right.
hanging out with us, friends who are
Yeah.
listening.
Thank you for
We never know where these are
joining
gonna
in,
go.
listening to us talk about birth teams to trusts to companions and whatever we landed on here. I really am looking forward to anybody's thoughts on that whole little
Me
conversation.
too.
So please let
Yeah.
us know.
Mm.
All
All right.
right. I guess till we meet again.
Okay. Bye for now, friend.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Holy Wild Birth. We hope that you were genuinely encouraged, inspired, and challenged by what you heard today. If you're loving what you hear, please make sure that you share it. Leave reviews. That helps other mamas find this content as well. And don't forget to read the show notes, okay? Because that's where you can find our email address if you want to reach out to us and start a conversation. It's also where you'll find free offerings as well as invitations to work with me and or Lauren. We can't wait to get to know you. See you next week.